Sí, precisamente. El at sería como de la parte más pequeña, por así decirlo. El on sería como ya abarcando un poquito más, que es un día o un periodo de tiempo pero específico, y ya el in para meses, años, décadas y así. Es una buena forma de verlo. Ahora sí estamos grabando.
Is there any other question about prepositions?
Recalcar sí que hay una excepción con las partes del día, por así decirlo, porque cuando hablamos de en la mañana, en la tarde, en la noche, o sea, en la tarde, perdón, usamos in, ya no usamos at. No pueden decir at the morning, tienen que decir in the morning. Son excepciones que nos hacen la vida a todos más confusa, pero hay que aprenderla. Es solo eso, sí. Decimos in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening.
But you said at night.
But you say at night.
Yeah, there are some exceptions. Yeah, let's go. Here there's something that is not part of your test. It's part of every single test and evaluation that you're going to have in your university journey. What are those? Capital letters. Capitalization. What is that? It's the use of capital letters, mayúsculas. You have to be careful because teachers, when there are some grammatical mistakes as the use of capital letters, your sentence or part of it, it's going to be wrong. So remember that for names, nationalities, language, titles, day of the week, months, and when you start a sentence, you must add a capital letter. Or your sentence, it's going to be wrongly written. That's just to remind you. And the other point that is important in a test is punctuation. Remember that if Professor Pablo says, write a sentence about whatever, you have to end the sentence with a full stop. That's important. Or if you have to write a question, remember, add the question mark. Sometimes the whole sentence could be right, but if you don't add the punctuation marks or the capital letters, it's going to be wrong. That's just to remind you. And for sure, if you have any doubt of punctuation, just let us know. But it's important.
Sorry. Respondiendo a la pregunta del chat, si la definición de on es like sobre algo, técnicamente sí, ¿ya? Utilizamos on para decir que algo está encima de una superficie, on the table, on bed and stuff. Pero, por ejemplo, cuando ustedes van, siempre hay excepciones, porque cuando dicen, no sé, voy en la micro, dicen I am on the bus. When you probably want to say I am in because you're inside something, but you have to say on because you're on a specific surface, okay? So traten de aprenderse las preposiciones como como con sus usos más que con su traducción al español, porque ahí se les puede hacer un poco más confuso. Eso. Está muteado, Diego.
Ya, ahora sí. Recuerden que también las preposiciones, por ejemplo, el on, que lo entendíamos sobre, eso es relacionado con place. Pero recuerden que están the place, están las prepositions of time y muchas otras. Entonces tenemos que ir adecuándolas a diferentes ámbitos. On the car. Y, por ejemplo, en ese caso, estaríamos hablando de place. Pero traten de no confundirse con eso por ahora. Porque ahora vamos a estar enfocados solamente en time.
Prepositions of time.
Puntuación.
Para el próximo certamen creo que vienen las prepositions of place.
Y las prepositions of movement. Eso es lo siguiente. Anyway, any other questions about punctuation, capitalization, or prepositions?
Recuerden que en inglés la marca de la pregunta se usa solo al final, no como en español que se usa al inicio y al final. En este caso solo al final.
Buen detalle.
La exclamación igual, ¿cierto?
¿Perdón?
La exclamación igual, ¿cierto? Solo al final.
Sí. Just at the end.
El semicolon no lo entiendo.
The semicolon, that is just when you have to write two different things. For example, if you have to write two different answers, first you write the first one. And if the second answer is totally different, you have to add a semicolon. No son usuales los certámenes, la verdad. Porque normalmente esto se da más para redacción de textos más largos y más complejos. Pero, por ejemplo, en un certamen, lo más probable es que el profesor le haga analizar oraciones o escribir oraciones. Y en este caso, tenemos que juntar dos diferentes que hablen de temas, por así decirlo, opuestos para añadir una semicolon. Pero durante este certamen, céntrense en el uso del full stop, question mark, comas, and apostrophe. That are the most common ones in English.
I understand.
Got it. Here we go. And well, just to summarize, here are the other contents that you've seen. And is there any final question about the present simple or the possessive adjectives before your test?
I guess no.
Ustedes mandaron una prueba formativa, ¿cierto?
Yes.
No sé si podríamos como hacer un ejercicio por ítem, si se podría, así como para repasar.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Wait, give me a second. Can you see the formative test?
Sí,
Yes.
se ve.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the first part says fill the gaps using the correct possessive adjective. So we're going to do the number 5. It says Jackson and I are moving out. Space. New house is in London. Can anyone set the answer or write it on the chat?
Our?
Yes, right. And why is it our? Can anyone explain it?
Porque habla de nosotros.
Perfect. It's Jackson and it's I, so we are both related. So we are talking about our, okay? Great. Then, what about number 3? No. Up. Del mismo ejercicio. Vamos a ver.
I'm sorry.
Okay, what about number 3? It says, when Matthew gets angry, space, face turns red.
Is
Is.
Okay, right. I think that here, no, sorry. I was confusing myself. It's his because we are talking about Matthew and Matthew is a he and the possessive adjective is his. So it's right. Do you have any doubt about possessive adjectives? For what I saw, the lesson of the other day, and now you are pretty good with them. Los dominan bien. ¿Queda alguna duda antes de pasar a la otra?
I have one.
Go ahead.
At this part, we're not using own. I mean, I don't know. He owns a heart. He owns a house.
You're talking about own?
Yes.
Let me write it to know if I get you.
OWNN.
Okay.
I was asking if we were seeing this. If we were talking about this, or we're just talking about the another ones. I mean, not so complicated.
I think that now we're just talking about possessive adjectives, and own, it's a verb, which
Okay.
means like como obtener.
To have or to.
Yeah, something like that. It's like it's like a synonym
of your
have.
property.
Yeah,
Okay.
of your property. That was the word I was thinking about. It's your property.
Thank
and
you.
It's a verb. Thank you for your question. No more doubts? Okay, now let's do the part 2.
En el chat había una duda de la...
In the chat, someone put something. Yes.
Before would be there.
She asked
Yes.
for the number 4.
Yeah, I was just reading it. The 4 is my friends are always making me laugh. Blank jokes are very funny. In this case, we are talking about my friends, which is they. Okay, and the correct possessive adjectives would be there. So yes, Antonia, you were right. It's there. No more doubts? Okay, if you have any doubt, just write it or open your microphones. Now, in this part, you have to create 3 sentences using the verb to be and 3 other sentences using any other verb. So we're going to do one with verb to be and one with another verb. So any volunteer for the one with the verb to be?
Something that's really important in every evaluation, it's keep it simple. The simple, the better. A veces uno trata de demostrar, no sé, algún conocimiento dentro de una evaluación y a veces uno termina perjudicado por errores extra que uno añade. Entonces, manteniendo la estructura básica del present simple, van a estar genial. No hay por qué hacer oraciones de una complejidad mayor, por lo menos en este certamen.
Yes, like she is 18 years old. It's perfect. It's correct and it's simple. So right, that is a correct sentence. Now, one with another verb, with any other verb.
She has long hair.
Great. She has long hair. So in this case, we are using the verb have, which changes in he, she, or it, and it has. It's great. You wake up in the morning, we are champions. I usually awake at noon. They're all correct and are simple. Yeah, you are the champion, guys. You have this perfectly known. But Antonia, remember that you have to add the S when you are talking about he, she, or it. In this case, he wakes up in the morning, okay?
And remember, obviously, in the chat, it doesn't matter, but in your test, add the punctuation and the capitalization.
Yes.
Just to remind you.
When we write sentences, we have to put the dot at the end or the point.
Yes, try to always do it. We used to have a teacher that if we didn't put the dot at the end of the test, he raised us points. So always
Yes.
do it. Not all the
That's why I
teachers
was
do the same thing, but it also makes the sentence look prettier.
Yes, I was asking because of it too. I had a teacher too that she always rest a few
Yes.
for it.
That's important. For example, if that's activity, it's 1 point per each sentence, and you don't add the
Final dot.
punctuation, it's going to be that points. Whether or not the sentence is correct, it's 0.5 points less. That's the importance to add that punctuation sign.
Yes. So
Thank you, because I used to forget it.
Yeah.
remember it always. Okay, so I think we're ready to move to the last. Can anyone bring an example of in? Remember that we are talking about prepositions of time. Okay, so give it a time uses. In, on, or at, whichever. Yes, Johan?
Well, I have a sentence.
Bring it.
We had pizza at lunchtime for the first one. Well, for the for the first one at number 5.
Okay. He says we.
We had pizza at lunchtime.
It's perfect. So you're using at for a specific moment of the day, and you're talking about lunch, which is right, because remember that the prepositions are used always with the noun after.
Yeah. Okay.
I wake up at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. There you are using two different prepositions of time, and both are correct.
Yeah.
So as I already said, you use in always to talk about parts of the day, which is in the morning, and to talk about a specific hour, which is 8:30, you use at. So are both correct.
And how about
Pero
in?
estaría malo en un certamen si ponemos dos prepositions time en una oración, que solo tenía que ser uno. ¿Lo pondría malo?
No.
No,
No,
no.
it's going to be 1 point as well as if you add just one.
Yes.
But it's going to be correct. In the future.
So we have, entonces, si yo no digo hora exacta, ¿puedo solo decir in the morning? Yes. It's completely correct.
Anyway, that's a really good goal to achieve, Andrea. In the future, I want to do an exchange trip. In this case, when you add something like in the future, you have to add a comma because you are expressing the time and then the sentence. A way that's easier to do so, it's instead of put in the future first, put it at the end.
Is it use it always? I mean, if I say, for example, at night, I brush my teeth. I have to put the comma before the another part of the, I mean, after the at night.
Yes, I get it. Yes, it's important when you specify at first the period of time, you have to add a comma. But if you don't want to add a comma, you can write it like this.
Okay, put it at the end.
Put it at the end without comma. And if you want to put it at first, it has to be a comma.
Okay, thank you.
I think Laura has a question.
Oh, yeah, Laura.
Write it or speak.
No sé si lo dijeron ya o quizá está paviando. No importa dónde uno ponga el in, o sea, la oración, tiene que estar nomás, ¿o no?
Sí,
No entendí entonces.
Ya, lo voy a decir en Spanish. Tiene que estar especificado que sea obviamente hablando de tiempo, como lo vimos acá, que era en el futuro o en el futuro. Pero hay dos formas de escribirlo usualmente en inglés. La primera es en el comienzo, en la cual tienes que añadir una coma. Por ejemplo, in the future, I want to...
Ya, ahora comprendo. Ya, muchas gracias.
So now we just need an example of on, and I think we're ready.
I will see you on Friday afternoon. Yeah.
I think that you just have to say, I'll see you on Friday. Because if you talk about afternoon, you have to say in the afternoon. Okay, it could be both. I'll see you on Friday, or I see you on Friday in the afternoon.
Can we, on Sundays, I turn on the TV?
Sorry, could you repeat, please? I didn't listen.
Can be on Sundays, I turn on the TV.
Yes,
Yes, you're
it's right. Correct.
Sundays and Fridays, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
And remember that the days are with the capital letter at first,
Yes.
always. Is there any final question?
That's correct too. I always see my grandmother on Sundays.
Yeah.
You did a great job, guys.
Just to finalize our assistantship.
I have a question before.
Oh yeah.
Bring it.
In the case of night, I have heard that people say at night,
Yes,
but
because
we
there's
say in the morning or in the afternoon, but at night is at night.
yeah,
not?
because it's like an exception of the rule.
Okay, but
Why?
it's
You
just
will-
an exception.
Yes, you are supposed to set always at to talk about the parts of the day, but if you're talking about morning, afternoon, or evening, you
Evening?
says in.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And what is the difference?
It's just an exception, I guess.
Just
Yes.
exception. Crazy English.
Yeah, the meaning will be the same. There's no difference.
Mm.
So, no more questions?
Yeah. We upload on ADECA 2 other documents that are going to be just for your personal study and to have something else to support your test. That's it. Common prepositions errors or exceptions that we have to keep in mind. There are really many of them. You don't have to study all the exceptions, but it's important to know them. And if you have any doubt, you just go ahead, review the list, and if you have any question, just let us know.
Yeah, and don't get crazy trying to study all these common mistakes because you will learn them while you learn the language. So don't worry, it's just for you to know.
¿Cuál sería la traducción entre on a bus y in the bus? In the bus yo sé que es adentro del bus, pero el on sería como sobre el bus.
Claro, sería algo así como sobre, porque uno va sobre
Arriba.
una superficie. Sobre una superficie. Y in es como adentro. Pero el uso correcto en ese caso es on the bus. You don't say in the bus.
In the bus is incorrect in this case. Well, that's one of the extra material. And the second one is this. Here are I think that the most useful prepositions of time.
There are examples and uses, so you to study like deeply the prepositions.
¿Eso está en la DECA? ¿Para
Está todo
estudiar
en la-
igual?
Sí, con la fecha de hoy.
Ah, ya, gracias.
De nada.
Anyway, here they are. In week 3, test in prepositions of time. Here are the documents that we've seen today. And remember that the assistantships are going to be all recorded And it's going to be something here that is going to set vínculos, where you can watch it again.
Ya, si nadie más tiene dudas, podemos dejarlo hasta acá. Recuerden que si quieren completar sus process test, nos pueden mandar a mí o a Diego y nosotros se los vamos a revisar y mandar apenas podamos. Así que eso, espero que les vaya muy muy bien en los certámenes.
Sí.
Ok, gracias.
Y recuerden que nos pueden molestar a cualquier hora, y ya sea por correo o por WhatsApp, si es más fácil, no hay problema. Y si van habiendo dudas o una parte específica que no la entendieron por X cosa, podemos hablar por llamada o alguna cosa para explicarlo de la mejor manera posible.
Gracias.
Gracias a ustedes.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
So,
Gracias.
Gracias a ustedes por
good
venir.
luck and have a really good test.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank
Gracias,
you.
gracias.
Good luck to you
Bye.
too.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Have a good.
Thank you, guys. Para la grabación.